What's up? It's Lip Service. I'm Angela Yee.
I'm Jordy Jor.
Akeem Woods.
And Terri J. Vaughn.
Terri J. Vaughn in the building, a.k.a. Lieutenant Governor Dunkerson. Thank you so much for joining us today.
I love when you say that.
Well, congratulations to you, because we are getting ready for a new Netflix series that's coming out on May 22nd.
Yes.
She the People.
Yes, she is the people.
Now, talk to me about how it feels right now, because this is an amazing moment. I can't even imagine what it's like, because this is your baby. Yeah. And so imagine what it's like to see something go from an idea, a conception, to actually about to be on Netflix as a series with Tyler Perry.
Yeah. Well, of course, you know, it's incredibly exciting. Feel extremely blessed. But to be honest, from the moment that this show idea came to me, which was about 7 or 6 years ago,
Oh, wow.
I knew it was going to happen.
Wow.
I just knew. I didn't know when. I thought it was going to happen way before now. But I just knew that the idea was something that we needed, something that I knew our community would appreciate, that the world would appreciate. It's, you know, it's a woman that is thriving but struggling at the same time.
Period. We right here.
Yeah, so many people can
All
relate
of
to
us.
that. A single mom, like co-parenting 2 teenage kids, and her incredibly colorful family. And then dealing in the world of politics. And
Man, we need that
balancing all
right now, because we need to
Yes.
see that type of flavor.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, can we celebrate with you? Can you pop this champagne?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
let's
Pop the
pop it.
bottle.
Akeem, you can have some
Champagne to
lemonade.
celebrate.
I will.
Well, you will? You
No,
will?
no,
No,
I have
lemonade.
lemonade.
No,
I'm
He
sorry.
said that strongly.
You too. We gotta have a little toast today.
Give me your cup.
Okay. I'm so happy for you, honestly, because, you know, we've been watching you for,
Ever.
I feel like, well, definitely it's been decades. And your
Thank
personality,
you.
I feel like, comes through even in your acting.
Thank you.
Like, you just seem like a cool ass person.
Yeah.
I think I am a cool ass person. I think so. My kids tell me I am.
Thank you.
And your kids are adorable, because we've been seeing
Thank
we
you.
see them on social media too. And I just want to say, you've also been fighting for diversity.
Yes.
When it comes to everything that's been happening in Georgia in particular. Can you just give us a little brief about that too? Because I just want to point out that not only is she Lieutenant Governor on this series, but in real life, you are involved in politics in a way. You are. If you're fighting for some, well, if we're talking about policy and fighting for justice and fighting for making sure that, because I think a lot of times people can say what's wrong, but when you're really fighting to make change, that is still being involved in politics.
Yeah.
Yes, I do believe that we use our creativity to make a difference. And so I do use my platform to share the views that I believe in. I think that there are so many people that need a voice for them, and that our community, you know, is always struggling, fighting. So I will continue to lift my voice up for us at any cost. And I think that right now, especially being a Black woman, that we are each other's cheerleaders so hard. Nobody loves us more than we love on each other. And I think that that's just been what we had to do.
Right.
It's like we fight for each other. We love each other hard. And so I do that. I believe in that. It's just in me.
Can we give a
amazing.
toast
Yeah,
to
let's
that?
toast to that.
Cheers
Yes.
to She the People.
She the people.
Just because you have lemonade, that doesn't mean
I
you
know.
can't.
I didn't touch his because that's bad luck. No, I'm kidding. I did. Did I toast you?
You did.
I got to put it on this
I was
side.
gonna ask how.
This is
So
good.
you said you remember coming up with the idea 7 years ago. Do you remember like how it came to you, like what you were doing, or like the motions?
Well, what had happened was, so I grew up in San Francisco.
Okay.
And my girlfriend, London Breed, became the first Black female mayor of the city of San Francisco, which was
Oh wow.
huge.
That is huge.
Huge. You know, it's one of the richest cities in the nation.
Yeah.
And the beautiful part of it, and what made me think like, oh, this would be an interesting show, was London, like me, grew up in the hood. very drug infested communities. We all know those parts
and San
of
Francisco
life.
is very like rich, but also the disparity
God.
between the haves
Yeah.
and the have-nots.
Yes.
Yeah.
So she grew up in a neighborhood like that, just like I did. And watching her work her way up through just being in politics, and we're always watching and cheering her on, watching her on the news and whatnot. And when she became the mayor, it was so much pushback in the city against her.
Oh, I can imagine.
So much, like they made a special election have to happen because she was put in the position because the current mayor had died.
Ooh.
And so she was superintendent of so I can't remember all her title, but she was to take over his position. She was the one that would finish out
She was like
his
next in line,
term.
Yeah.
Right.
And they act like you don't deserve it. You didn't earn it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so they
especially because she's a black woman. So.
Yeah, they made her have a special election and all this stuff, everything that they were putting her through, and she won anyway.
Damn.
And then I was like, that is the shit.
You know, they was mad.
Oh my God, yes.
Was she
I got
replacing
the
a white
idea.
man?
Well, no, he was Asian actually.
Okay.
An Asian man. And so just watching what she went through, knowing her background, I was like, a character like that would be amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of Veep. And so I was like, that would be great from our perspective,
Right.
like our neighborhood,
'Cause there's
growing
nothing
up
like
and
that.
getting it.
Right.
Yeah, because you come in with a different viewpoint, fighting for your folks, but still having to represent a city that is very much...
And still trying to play the game, essentially, too.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I just thought it was prime for a perfect comedy and
Yeah.
drama at the same time. And so that's where the ideal sparked. And that was like in, I think, 2017 or something like that. I can't remember the exact. But so that's what sparked the idea. And I just started like writing it down over the years. Then I wanted to team up with a writer. I met with several writers and finally got to Naya Palmer, who we just get each other. She's weird and wacky and super funny. And so we worked on it, developed it together. And then we just got busy with life, right? So I was working, acting, I was directing. And so it was just kind of on the shelf.
Yeah, back burner.
Yes, because when I did mention it to people and try to put it out into the world, everybody was like, no, we don't want to touch a political show. We don't want to do anything in politics. And I was like, okay, whatever. And just
I wonder
kept
why
working.
people say that.
I don't know.
Because I just feel like it's part of everyday life. Politics is entertainment, especially right
it's
now.
especially
It's hilarious.
now
You
more
know?
than ever.
It's a
politics
reality
is
show.
entertainment.
Yes.
It's unfortunately hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I think God's divine timing
Because
is
this, I was going to say, this
everything.
is the perfect
very
time with
timely.
everything that's happening.
I know.
It's the perfect time to come out now rather than 7 years ago.
Right.
Even if you look at our
Exactly.
mayor here in New York, Eric Adams, and even if you look at Mayor Cantrell, she's a black woman in New Orleans.
Yes.
And I feel like they target her because of that. Like,
Of course they do.
you know, because I've actually seen her out and about. It's interesting because people will tell me like, I see her getting criticism for like being out, but it's New Orleans.
Right.
How, like,
Right.
the mayor should be out.
I do see. Yeah. It's like, what do you mean? It's New Orleans. You're supposed to be a hermit?
Right.
No, but but a large part of that is tourism too in New Orleans. Like a large part of what happens. So going out and supporting business. Oh, the mayor's here. Like if I owned a business in New Orleans, I would be so excited for the mayor to come to my
100%.
establishment
Yeah.
and and toast to me.
Absolutely.
And, like that's a big deal. And I think New York the same thing though. I will say that because they call our mayor. There's other issues there, but
gonna say,
but earlier on, like the party mayor, I do think that having a mayor in New York because nightlife is so big,
Yeah.
and small businesses are so big, and a lot of these establishments are small businesses. I do think any mayor we have should I don't see a problem with that as long as you're not.
Well, the thing is, to me, and also what I thought would be so interesting to tell this story is she's just a human being. She's still a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's still, our character, she has kids. She has 2 teenage kids that she's co-parenting with her ex-husband. So we wanted to make her have to deal with real life stuff, but she still has a job that has an image that she has to uphold, but she still has regular stuff.
And sometimes people will look down on you on politics as a woman who is not married.
Oh
right?
yeah, we touch on
like
all
I
of
know
the
that's
things.
the issue.
Yeah.
We touch on all the things.
And Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms, former mayor,
Yes,
in Atlanta. So she's part of this project too. She's a.
Yes. So
Tell me how that happened.
So what had happened was, during the strike, when the strike happened in 2023, when all our jobs went away in the entertainment business, I called Naya and I was like, Naya, look, I know we're on strike, but what do you think about shooting a proof of concept now while we're on strike? So when the strike is over, we'll actually have something to show people,
Right.
as a pitch instead
Let's
of
be
us
productive
trying.
during this time.
Yeah, instead of just trying to tell people how to see our vision, let's show them the vision. And so she agreed. So we got to work on developing the show to shoot a proof of concept. And I was like, well, if I want to stack it with as much gunpowder as possible, I need to attach somebody that is in this space to give our show some
legitimacy.
Yes. So I tentatively called Keisha Lance Bottoms and was like, hey, this is Terri J. Vaughn. Would you meet with me?
I know she was like, yes.
She was.
Here,
She was
let's
like,
go.
yes, let's meet up. Let's go to breakfast.
That's awesome.
And so we met. I told her the idea, pitched the whole thing to her, and she loved it. And she was like, absolutely, I will join you. I want to be a part of this.
That's amazing.
And so once we got her on board, we were able to get the funding to shoot the proof of concept that we wanted to shoot. And I was like, look, I only want to shoot it if it can look like it could air. I need it to look exactly how we want it to be.
Okay.
And so I got the team together. We have a dope ass team of people in Atlanta who came together, helped me shoot this, and we shot it. It came out exactly how I wanted to see it. And once the strike was over, my agents sent it out.
That's
and we got
awesome.
calls left and right.
Yes.
And you went with Tyler Perry.
And we did. We chose Tyler Perry.
Now tell me why.
choice.
I mean, and I'm not
Several
questioning it. I just
reasons.
want to know. Yeah, tell me what was in your thinking when you said we got calls, but Tyler Perry is what
because,
we.
and it was a tough decision, not to, because had never happened to me before. So I've been doing this for a long time, right?
Yes.
I have pitched shows.
I
over
saw you
20
writing about that. You're like, I got
Yes.
hundreds of shows.
Yes. And it's always, the pitch. We get ourselves ready. So I'm getting me, Naya, and Keisha. We're like getting our pitch together. We're rehearsing it so that we're ready for our meetings. Our first meeting actually was with Tyler Perry Studios. And so we get on the call and immediately we're ready to jump in, and they jump in and start telling us everything they love about the show and
that's
why
amazing.
we need to go with them.
Oh wow!
And I
so
was
you're
like,
not
come
even
on,
pitch
pitch me.
mission.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Pitching you.
And that
That's
happened
amazing.
with every
That's
meeting.
amazing.
That's
So they made us an
amazing.
offer right there in our first meeting.
Oh wow!
And I was like, so this is like an offer? Like, y'all want the show? And they were like, yeah.
Because the truth is, an
That's
offer also don't
amazing.
mean it's gonna actually happen.
Right.
Because sometimes an
1000%.
offer could keep you tied up.
1,000%. So they laid out all the reasons why we should go with them. And we were like, okay, can we get right back to you? We have some other meetings.
Yeah.
Right.
And so in every meeting after that was the same thing.
That's
We were like, we
Wow.
already have an
That's
offer on
unheard
the
of.
table. So,
Right.
and they were like, well, consider this offer number 2.
wow.
Damn.
And it kept happening. Like, it kept happening.
And
That's
shouldn't that
So
proof
now-
of concept was part of investing in doing
One,
that?
it
is-
would have not gone
Right.
that way if we did not do that.
Okay.
So thank God for the thought dropping in my soul to do it.
Right.
And so after, meeting with everybody, and these are all like amazing people that I have been wanting to work with for years, all of them. So it was a very hard decision for me, but just after all the conversations, going back to what you said about the offer and getting a deal doesn't mean that the show is actually gonna happen, right?
It could actually destroy something
Right.
from
It
happening.
it just can hold you up. And though I think everybody went in it with great intentions, and I do think that they were really, going to push for the show and support the show. The only one that really had the power to pull the trigger and go now.
Yeah.
And after having like a couple of more meetings with Tyler himself and how he was just so supportive and wanted to be collaborative and asking us all these amazing questions, we were like, we feel safe with him.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We feel
That's
safe
great.
with him. And so, and you know, this is a part of a new entity for Tyler, his deal with Netflix.
And it's
It's
been going well.
It's been going amazing.
Yeah.
It's been
I
going-
definitely watched Beauty and Black.
Yeah. And
I'm
so
like, when are we going to finish this?
we were the first comedy that he was bringing to the network. And so everything was fresh and new and exciting. And, you know, they were the perfect partners for us. Just been amazing.
Well, again, congratulations. But I love like a lot of things that you touched on in that story because like you said, you've been pitching, prepping things, but then also having something to show.
Yeah.
Right.
Because sometimes a lot of people will have ideas, but having something to actually be like,
Right.
here's what it's
Yeah,
going to
just
look
watch
like.
it.
Yeah. That makes all the difference, right?
Yeah.
That's facts.
I think so. Because when you're trying to get somebody to see what you see in your head and you're telling them and you're talking.
And it's hard for them to imagine it, but if you
Right.
could just be like,
Yes.
hey, look at this.
You
One
got to
thousand
touch the chat
percent. That was a
GPT. Hey, I
huge
need you to
difference.
film this and put this together.
Yeah, so that made the huge difference. That made the huge difference. And then going with him and him seeing what our vision was, and then Tyler adding his sauce. It was just great.
You know, you talk a lot about mental health awareness as well.
Yeah.
And I've seen that's something that you platform too.
Yep.
How is it? Because I can't imagine what it's like when you're like, it's like going on job interviews and you have to keep on pitching yourself and then you feel like you know you're amazing, you know you have an amazing idea, and sometimes people just can't see it.
Yeah.
You know, what does that do? Because Akeem, I know you're also like, look, put me on a TV show.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it is sometimes like we can laugh about it, but sometimes it is really, really difficult,
Absolutely.
and it's not easy on your ego too.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a difficult business. It really is.
It is.
Because like this project and many other ones, it's like we're putting ourselves, like this is my heart. This is my,
Yeah.
you know, my voice, my heart, my vision, and I'm giving it to you. I'm pouring it out to you. And you're like, nope. Don't
Nope.
want it.
Yeah.
Don't want
And
it.
it's like,
So
well, damn,
it's
yeah.
it is a strike to your ego, but it's the business.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
why it ain't for
gotta be
everybody.
like-
You gotta have thick skin.
Yeah.
And it is super important to take care of yourself mentally, spiritually, physically, because it takes a toll. It totally takes a toll. So I am an advocate of my exercise, my mental workouts, my meditation, what I read, what I listen to, my prayer time. All of it is a huge part of my life.
You look amazing.
Yeah, you look
Thank
great.
you.
look
That
good.
ponytail is like,
Jerry
moving,
J,
she's
baby.
bobbing. Yes.
I cannot stress that enough. And then also being married.
Yes.
How does that affect?
And that's
like,
stressful too.
I was gonna-
No, because last night I was at my favorite restaurant and these two guys were having a little kiki, and one of them said that he doesn't believe that there's any such thing as a happy marriage.
Oh,
not
that
true.
What do you think about that?
I
He
don't-
sounds really bitter.
Yeah,
I mean, he was like, yeah,
Is he married?
Yeah.
he was married. Yeah.
Damn, well, he's unhappy.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
unhappy. No, I think that I am extremely happy in my marriage right now. I think it goes through stages,
Like life.
like life.
You're not happy all the time.
1000%.
Right.
And there's growth. It's two different human beings, two different journeys have come together, two different upbringings, two different thought patterns.
And then you also have things happening in your life that you can bring back into a relationship.
1000%.
Because we're like two whole people coming into,
Yes.
you know, kind of coming
Yes.
together. And sometimes you might have some, or he might have something going on.
Yep.
And it just kind of rocks the boat.
It does, but but you have to realize that is just a normal progression in life. Whether you're by yourself or you're with somebody, you're still gonna grow. You're still gonna, you used to do this, but now you don't do that anymore. Now you do this, but you're always gonna do that. As long as you're living, you're gonna grow and change constantly. And in a marriage, that's what makes marriage so difficult. It's because now it's two people, and nobody is growing at the same exact time.
Yep.
Sometimes you're up here and they're down here, and then they come up here and they go up there, and then it's about giving grace. It's about knowing that is a natural human way of being. So let me let you be a natural human being and grow at your time. And I'll step back.
Right.
Do your thing, you know, whatever it is. And I also think that people go into marriage with the particular ideas of what marriage is supposed to be. I'm like, you got to throw everything out that you have ever learned, whatever church told you, your mama told you, throw it all out and create what marriage is for you in your house. That's what I think why people are in unhappy marriages, because they're trying to fit into a box that doesn't fit them.
How did you know he was the one?
I didn't.
He told me.
How long have you guys been married?
17 years.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, we've been married 17 years, but this is my second marriage. And so I always said I would never get married again. I had no desire
As soon
to
as
get
you
married.
say never,
Right.
that's
So
what
it
happened.
happened immediately. As soon as I said never,
How long was their first one?
5 years, and then the divorce started. So by 6, it was final.
Divorce is like, whew.
It's terrible. And that's why I didn't want to get married again.
Yeah.
It wasn't about the marriage. It was about the
process.
breaking up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so if I get married to somebody and I don't like them anymore, we break up. I don't go with you no more. Now it's all this drama and the court.
You
and
paperwork,
Yes.
you gotta sign papers, you gotta do
Now
math.
I gotta pay
All
you.
in your business.
Right. And I just thought that was so. Do we cuss on
Invasive.
here?
Yeah, you
Yes.
say whatever you
I
want.
thought it was so fucked up.
Yeah.
Right.
So I was
They
like,
make
I'm
it
not
so
doing
hard.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
But at the same time, you know, I guess that part of that is like them not wanting you.
We just got snatched.
Yeah, the curtain
ghost.
divorced us.
yeah,
But,
which is fine. Go
but,
your way.
but at the same time, I guess they don't want you to make it so easy. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's
I guess
not
so.
like breaking up.
Yeah, because it's not breaking up. It's supposed, which is
So okay, so go ahead.
well,
sorry.
it's a business. So that I learned.
Right. Yeah.
So, okay, marriage is a freaking business.
yeah.
With paperwork, you got to file papers, you got to get a lawyer, all the things. So that's what made me not want to. So I met my husband in the midst of my divorce.
Ooh.
So isn't that dumb?
and he played in the NFL.
How did y'all
right?
meet?
Is
He
it-
did, but he was done by the time I met him.
Okay.
How did you guys meet?
We met, I was doing a play.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing a play, and Tank was in the play, and he.
Shout out to Tank, who was just in
Right.
Hell's Kitchen too. He did.
Oh, we came out to see him.
Yeah.
So they're very good friends. So when
Okay.
I was doing the play with Tank, that's how I met him.
Tank sat right in his seat one day and went viral, but that's another
Oh, I
story.
remember.
I remember that.
I heard about that. I did.
Okay, all right, so go ahead.
I wish I was there for that episode.
That's my brother.
I love you, Tank. Every time he sees me, he's like,
Never again.
That's my brother.
I should have been there. That would have been the moment.
So yeah, so we met during the time we were doing that play, and there was no interest. There was no spark
On your
or
part.
anything. Well, I don't even know if it was for him. Neither one. No, it wasn't, because they were dealing with girls. and
Right, right,
stuff.
okay.
It wasn't even a thing. But we were just all used to hang out. And then the more we started hanging out, and we used to linger and talk, and we just started liking each other.
that's
it was
friends.
accidental.
Yeah,
Right.
It was accidental.
that's always nice. And you was going through some things. You was
I was. So I totally wasn't thinking about anything.
because then at first you think it's a rebound. Like, is this me? You know,
Right.
trying to do something to mask how I'm feeling about this whole
Right.
situation.
Right.
And then what happened?
So I totally went in. So we started liking each other, obviously. And I was like, look, I'm going through this divorce and I never want to get married again.
Mhm.
And he was like, cool. So when we decided that we were going to be serious, that was still, we went into it. We don't need to get married. He
Right.
didn't
Be
care. I
together.
didn't care. We'll be together. I was like, I want more kids. And I am cool with having a kid without being married.
Right.
I'm okay.
We Goldie Hawn and
Yeah.
Kurt
Okay.
Russell.
I was good with it. And then I got pregnant. And I was like, you do got that NFL insurance, though.
Legally.
That
Hey, it
part,
doesn't matter about that.
I might take
Yeah, I
that.
was like, you played for how many? So you 5 years in, so you vested. You got,
The
I was
math
like,
is math thing.
I think it's going to be better for all of
Yeah.
us and the baby.
and it is a
And he
business
was like,
decision.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he
Yeah.
agreed. He was like, yeah.
That's
so,
awesome.
and now we've been together for 17 years.
That's amazing.
Did you have like a big wedding or
No.
it was just a
We went to Vegas.
okay?
Oh, that's
Yes.
amazing.
We wore
That's the
Adidas
funnest.
sweatsuits.
That's the funnest way to get married.
I was
Belly.
pregnant, big belly, Adidas sweatsuit.
Oh,
I
you got
love
married
it.
while you were pregnant.
That's awesome.
That is so
Because
cute.
literally,
That is
I was
cute.
not gonna get married. I wasn't. I was pregnant. I was
funny.
good.
Wait, was your Adidas
Still, but it
tracksuit
was
white?
like-
Was it a white Adidas tracksuit?
At least.
No, it's not. I wore pink and he wore blue.
That's still cute.
So how long after you were officially divorced did you get married?
Maybe 2 years.
Was
Okay,
your
about 2
ex-husband
years.
tight? Like, was he?
I don't know. We're not doing that, Angela. I don't know. He's a great. He's the father of my oldest son, and
Because you
he's
know,
a great
sometimes
man.
even though you may have moved on,
Yeah.
people be like,
In their feelings.
so this whole time, because you know people be thinking, oh, this whole time it was good. Da, 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 da. But you're right, we're not gonna be messy.
He is my friend. He's a great dad. To
And
What did
co-parenting
you
is
learn
important.
from the first marriage to the second?
To really just be honest in the moment. Don't let things linger.
Mhm.
Because to be honest, I knew it wasn't working. I knew I wanted to move on at least 3 years,
Ooh,
which is crazy, right?
right. 'Cause
But
it was
then
like
you
2
keep
years
putting
in, yeah.
Band-Aids on it. Okay, we got this. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine. Let's have a baby.
Right.
Okay, it's fine. It's
That'll
fine.
fix
Let's
it.
buy a house.
Right.
It's fine. You know, you keep doing
Doing the
stuff like
grown-up
that.
things,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it just, none of it, it still kept landing back where I knew it was.
Mhm.
So I really just hit things dead on. This
Yeah.
isn't working. I don't like how this feels. I don't, you know. So we talk more.
Yeah.
That's good. And then to be friends to this day is good.
Mm-hmm.
How is it for you, like, kind of growing up in this business? I know a lot of people were trying to holler at you.
Yeah.
How were you able to like maneuver through that? Because sometimes it can be awkward. Sometimes you have to be around people. Like, what's some advice you would give to people who are up and coming in this business, for you to be able to like maintain and come through?
So this is funny because that is a serious question.
Yeah,
Because
people ask me
yes,
that all the time. Young women ask me that, like,
because you don't want to be a hoe.
Right.
I'm being honest.
but you want to have fun.
But you wanna have fun.
And you wanna be-
as
and
a
you
woman,
also-
you don't want to be a hoe because
Right.
I'm a hoe.
He's a hoe and he's proudly a
Okay,
hoe.
But the
that's good for you.
stigma
He does
isn't
wild
as
things.
but the stigma's not as bad for men.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Right.
So I get it.
And I just didn't want to be, and I felt like I was dating. It was like I was going out and I was
How
doing
old?
my
How
thing,
old?
and
If you don't mind me asking, how old were you when you first when you got into the business? Like when you started like booking stuff?
so I moved to LA when I was 22 or 23,
Yeah.
something like that. And
That's the fun stage
Right.
too. Boy,
yeah,
let me tell you.
So, well, the funny
And you
thing is,
lit.
I moved there with a guy,
Okay.
and he did propose and all the things, and we did get engaged.
She
and
got
then
that
we
glow,
called it.
baby.
It's so much drama. It's just too much. It's too many stories. And we called it off, and then he tried to propose again, and I was like, nope. And I moved on. So then, so now I'm out in LA, and now I'm single. So now I'm just dating, hey, and I just felt like I was doing way too much. Hey. I was
But
like,
no social media. We okay.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But then that's what made me decide I wanted to get married.
Right, because you didn't want to get a reputation. You were like, let me just
1000%.
settle down
And see, and that's
and do
the
the
other
quote
thing.
unquote
Oh,
right
yeah.
thing.
I felt like I got married for the wrong reason the
Yeah.
first time.
That
it
makes
really
sense.
was.
Yeah.
So I was like, nope, I know, because he was a college friend. He was my friend. Like, we were cool as hell.
Mhm.
And we always liked each other in college. So I was like, this works. This would be
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah, on paper,
is
this
good.
should work
Right.
out.
This
It sounds
works.
great. We went to
He's
college.
creative.
Yeah.
He's cute. You know, this works.
Yeah.
And yeah, it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we have a beautiful and amazing son, my oldest son.
Yeah, you have a son and a daughter. That's perfect.
I have 2 sons.
Oh, 2 sons
So
and a daughter.
yeah,
Okay.
so once I got married to Karan, my current husband, we had 2 kids. So I
Okay.
have a 17-year-old son and a 10-year-old girl.
Okay.
And then my
Aw.
oldest son is 20. He'll be 24.
That's amazing.
Okay.
Are
Oh,
any of them
wow.
following in your footsteps? Like, I want to.
Ooh, Lola, my 10-year-old, she is everything now. She,
I be seeing y'all doing your little challenges.
girl, that one.
Oh.
And you
And
wanted
I
to.
never wanted to have a girl, y'all.
What?
Never.
Why?
I was like, I'm a boy mom. I'm a boy mom.
Because boys are easier.
1000%.
Yeah, we just
And
run
I
around.
was the girl.
Yes.
No, you're a mess. No, I'm playing with you.
But as a kid, I was
No,
easy.
you were a good kid.
Yeah.
That laugh though. Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't didn't want to raise me because I knew me. I knew the things I got in trouble for. I knew the things
I was bad
that
as
I
hell.
never got caught at.
You don't want that to come back around.
Right.
1,000%. I was
you're
like,
right.
no.
Girls I think
and
girls
it's just
are harder.
too much drama. It's too much. I know being a girl, I know the stuff I went through, the insecurities and the this and the bullying and all. I was like, I don't want a girl. It's just so much.
Right.
And here she comes.
A little you.
A little me. And she is she is me on steroids, like 1,000. But she's amazing. She teaches me so much.
That's amazing.
Because she is so confident and so, I'm gonna be a professional ice skater. I'm gonna be a professional tennis player. I am gonna act and I'm gonna direct.
And she can do all those things too.
If anybody asks her, what do you want to do? She'll name all
she'll
those
list
four
all of those
things.
things.
Multi-hyphenate, she says.
Yep, and I'm like,
The ice skating one is random. Like,
yeah, so she's been ice skating since she was 2.
That's
wow.
so
She can be
funny.
I've never
That's
done
You know what's
that.
crazy?
Placed second over the weekend.
In ice skating?
She had a we had a
That's
competition
That is
amazing.
in
so
Alabama, and
amazing.
she placed second.
Ramani Malco, I remember I interviewed him one time. He used to be, was he married to a woman who was a professional ice skater?
Wow.
That
Yeah.
just looks dangerous. I be seeing them spinning and stuff. No,
Yeah,
thank you.
she does all that.
I just
for
think
her.
about
It's
what was
intense.
that movie, Gloria? Was it Flashdance? Where she was like an ice skater. What's that? And she was doing the routine, but then she like slipped and fell. It was like,
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Tonda?
Yeah.
Was it a comedy or you
no,
mean
no,
the
no.
drama?
It was like a back in the day
Yeah, it was like a
80s movie.
I might have saw. I don't know.
And then she was like I think that was Flashdance. She was like a construction worker, but then she was her.
But she was a dancer. She wasn't an ice skater.
No, somebody in them. I
That is
gotta
wrong.
find that. I gotta
Flashdance
find that clip.
is dancing.
Right, she's
Flash
definitely
dancer is
dancing.
not ice skating, Angela.
No, listen, you're gonna eat your words, okay?
Okay.
You hear me, Lieutenant?
Okay. I'm telling you.
You hear me, Lieutenant
It's
Governor?
flash dance is dance. Flash dance,
Just let her have it, girl. Let her have
No
it.
ice
Let her
skating
have it,
inside.
girl.
Don't play with
There
me.
is no ice
Not
skating.
even
I can't wait
allowed.
to read
They
the
didn't even
comments.
go
Everyone
skating.
can-
What actually inspired you to want to do what you do? Like even at a young age, because you're talking about your daughter and how she's inspired, and when you ask her what she wants to do, she could run it down. What inspired
I wasn't
you?
like that, and that's why I learned so much from her. So I didn't know what I wanted to be. I just wanted to be a successful businesswoman. That if somebody would ask me, a successful businesswoman, but I didn't know what kind of business. I didn't know. I didn't have any, specifics. But when I was in college. So I started studying advertising. I thought I was going to go into advertising.
I did too. I thought I was going to do advertising and marketing.
too.
Yeah. Okay.
And so a friend, when we were in college, was recruiting girls for a Miss Black California pageant. So me and some of my friends, we were like, "Oh, we'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll do it." We don't got no clue about it at all, but we're like, "We'll do it." And so I did this pageant. And for the talent part, I didn't know what I was going to do for the talent part because I didn't sing. I didn't know anything about acting at that point as a career, just wasn't on my radar. But my mom and my aunt, we came up with the idea for me to do a poem. To recite a monologue from for colored girls who consider suicide when the rainbow is enough.
Yeah, I watched that on Broadway.
Of course you did.
I love it. I love it. Okay.
So I did Sorry, Lady in Blue. And I did my poem, I acted it out, and I had never done anything like that. And one of the judges was a producer of a play that they were casting to tour the country. It's one of the touring plays. And so after the pageant, he asked me if I would be interested in auditioning for this play.
That's amazing.
And of course,
How
again,
unlikely.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yes.
Listen,
I know.
it's like a
So
natural
what do you do?
talent.
Yeah.
I was like, what you do for an audition? So he was like, bring a picture and a resume and come to the Black Repertory Theater. It's in Berkeley, California. And I was like, okay, bet I'll be there. And so the night before my audition, I had my college roommate take a picture. I'm aging myself. It was a Polaroid picture.
It's okay. I still got a Polaroid.
Okay.
Okay.
So I had my Polaroid picture and I had my regular working resume. I was working at the Marriott Hotel. I had worked at McDonald's, Avis Rent-A-Car. So that's the resume I brought.
I worked at Burger King.
Shout out to Marriott.
Yes. That was a good
Listen,
job.
I'm not
That
mad
is
at
where
it.
I was working through college. So I show up at the theater with my picture and my resume, and I walk in, and it's like real actors there. Like, I'm like, they like stretching and moaning, doing like some weird shit, and I'm like,
Voice exercises.
yes.
Stretching.
Stretching, all this weird stuff. I was like, whoa, this is weird. I'm gonna sit in the corner. So I just waited until somebody came out and called my name, and then I went in and I met the director and I met the playwright. And they gave me some material and they said, just read this part. So I read the part, and the director, his name is Paul Roach. I always credit him for my career because he changed my life. He said, read it again for us. And the character, she's sassy. So just, and I was like, oh, okay. So you just want me to be myself, basically.
Right.
So I read it again. And that night they called me and was like, we want to offer you a part.
Wow.
In this
That's
play.
amazing. Your first audition.
Yeah, it was so random.
That's amazing.
All them professionals.
It was
and
meant for you.
That's
we're
amazing.
Gonna tour the country. We're gonna pay you $400 a week. I was like,
period.
What?
I will take
me up.
That's a lot back
And so I was like, Mama, these people are calling and saying they want me to do this play and da. And she was like, well, when is that ever going to happen again in your life? Go for it.
Yeah.
That's
See what
amazing.
happens.
Absolutely.
So I did that play.
Oh,
And it was David E. Talbert's very first
Ooh,
play.
and he's still doing it.
Telling
Let me
it
tell
like
you.
it is, with a Z, tis.
Ooh.
And,
Black people always got to add a Z.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make it Googleable.
But Paul Roach, the director, he traveled with us through the whole run of the show. And before, all our rehearsals and stuff, he was actually training us in acting. So he introduced us to Stanislavski, Uta Hagen, Chekhov, all the theater greats.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I was like, this is what I want to study. This is what I love.
That's so fun.
And I just never
It
looked
found
back.
you. That's
Yes.
great.
That's amazing.
Yep.
And I think, like most well-known, obviously, the Steve Harvey show. Man, that was even me sitting here talking to you right now. Like, it's like I'm thinking about that in my head sometimes. At times, like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I
Just-
love that character.
Yeah, just to, and it was she was dope.
She was amazing.
That was my Friday night routine.
Oh,
Yes.
I
If
love
they
that.
did a, you know how they're doing all these spin-offs?
Yeah.
Well, not spin but reboots.
Uh-huh.
If they did a reboot of that show and everyone's like, yeah, we'll do it. Would
Yeah.
you do it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, please,
Right.
1,000%.
Although you booked and busy,
Right.
Oh, I will work that out.
Yeah, you'll
'cause I
figure it
still love
out.
those
Yeah,
guys.
and you
Yeah.
still talk to everybody. Like,
Everybody. Everybody.
that's good.
Yep.
That's
we
amazing.
like a story like that. And I was just telling them, I was like, let's not forget Insecure. That needed to be a
That
spinoff.
was so great. They talked about it for a while. They teased me.
Yes,
they teased
'cause
me.
that
I really
could've
thought
been
it was going.
That would've been good.
So can you tell people, because I
Rose
was like,
Cranberry?
yeah. Because you would be coming in
We
watching that
stayed
show.
looking. Yeah. So she was an investigative reporter.
That's a real show.
and she was
That's like Daria from Detroit.
yeah.
Right.
So she was always looking for missing Black girls, the ones that nobody was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the way they wrote it was so brilliant because it was truthful.
Yeah.
It was 1,000% truthful, but it was hilarious. Just really poking fun at what the world really does to us.
Right.
As Black women, it's like, dude, these women are missing. And they're like, who? What? What's her name? So it was I just thought that was such a great and fun character. And I just loved the writing, thought it was super smart, extremely hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
That she'll always be another one that I really, really love.
Yeah, no, that was dope. That's like one of my favorite shows also.
So good.
You
And then I
guys
saw
spun it off into a podcast.
Oh, they
did y'all
did?
know that?
No.
We
I
Stay
know.
Looking.
No.
Oh, no.
Bro, okay, y'all have to. We did. Oh, how many? We did. I
We
don't know.
Stay
Maybe 10.
Looking.
We Stay Looking.
That's
was the
really
spin-off
funny
into a
name.
We Stay Looking. Y'all gotta.
That's
It's
a
on
really
all
funny. That's a really
podcast
funny
things.
podcast name.
That's hilarious.
It won
gonna
Webby
write that
Award.
down.
Oh, it did?
Uh-huh,
Okay,
two.
we on it.
Wow.
Look, he's putting it in his
That
thing
is-
right
Yes, We
So
Stay
iconic.
Looking. Look it up.
Yeah, I'm
It's
I'm
so
writing it
funny.
down.
So
It was
let
the greatest.
So how did you celebrate when you found out that She the People was picked up? What did you do to celebrate?
I've been drinking champagne every
Yeah, we
day.
gotta keep it. Listen,
Every day. I mean, I've done so many things because I'm still just overjoyed. Like,
Do you remember what you were doing when they called you to tell you it was picked up?
Well, we already knew. Like, once we
you had to
decided to go
choose.
with
Yeah.
Tyler,
Okay.
it was just about getting the dates. And so all that anticipation was, is this really happening? Like, is this for real?
even now, I
Yeah.
was like, May
Yeah.
22nd. You were
Right.
like, look, until it's on the TV screen, we don't know. But it's happening. It's on the
Yes.
schedule. It's happening.
Yes.
And I'm binging it.
Yes, please do. Because
can't
I
wait.
hear that's the way
That's me.
that they
I'm-
really.
first of all, I'm
That's what
always-
most people do, yeah.
I am always looking
Yeah.
for something to watch. And from the trailer, I already know.
Yeah, the trailer was
the trailer
hilarious.
So
Yeah.
watch
Crying.
the first 8 episodes. You got to binge
Is it just 8
together.
episodes?
It's 16 total.
Okay.
May 22nd, the first 8 drop.
Okay, so they're
In
splitting it.
August.
Okay.
Okay.
The
He
next
always
8
do
drop.
that.
The two
Now I gotta
parters.
wait for the
Right.
second part.
See,
You know
the
what I'm
thing-
saying?
But you're only waiting till August. That's not
Okay,
that far.
fine.
Nice.
See, my
Because
thing is, I'll
I
probably
hear-
watch the first
Because sometimes
6.
it's a year.
I'll
Yeah.
literally watch it all at
Almost
once.
a year.
No, I'm saying sometimes
Oh.
they make you
Yeah,
wait a year.
sometimes, yeah.
A couple of months is nothing.
Yeah, so I don't know how long second season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Period.
Second
Put it
season,
on the
put it out
air.
there.
Yeah.
And people always give Tyler Perry his props for money. Like
Yeah.
talking about like, I asked for this and I got it. And, he is the first person that ever gave me like my value and my worth.
Yeah.
What was that negotiation like for you?
Well, what I will say is Tyler has given me my dream.
That's amazing.
He's given me my dream. This has been 20 years in the making. Y'all see, now I get emotional.
Yeah.
20 years in the making. It's my dream.
That's amazing.
So I have everything I want. My executive producer credit, created by, and I got a nice check. I got a nice
Period.
check.
You
And
deserve
you
it.
drink
And-
Vouv every day.
And I'm drinking champagne up every
Right.
day.
Yes.
And you know what? And my son got a job because my son graduated from Atlanta School of Audio and Engineering.
That's amazing.
And when
Oh
we
my-
first was having meetings over there, they were like talking about how they're looking for more young people to
Yeah.
bring into
You were like, I got one.
over at the studio. And I was like, well, do y'all need people in y'all post department? My son just graduated. They were like, yeah, bring him in. They gave him an internship and then hired him.
That's amazing.
See, that means
This
so
is what
much.
I mean. It's
That's
so much
awesome.
bigger than just the show.
That's
and even so much
awesome.
bigger than just the paycheck. It's like dreams being made and pouring into my family. So
I know he was so hyped too. I know your son was like,
I'm just it's amazing. It's just
this
such
family
a huge
vacation about to
blessing.
be lit.
Right.
About to be lit. What? And my husband plays on the show too.
Oh, snap.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Little
it's just
inside
been a
scoop.
blessing. Yes, a little blessing.
What's his role?
So he plays my security, my driver.
Oh, we love the
Listen.
security. The security
We'll
always
see.
hot.
Oh.
on, bodyguard.
Yes. Listen, Bodyguard remake. We see it.
I don't know what y'all talking about. I don't know what's happening.
Listen, I love that for you.
That's so
You know,
fun.
and
Huge blessing.
you definitely deserve it. And so this
thank
is like
you.
so inspirational for all of us.
Yes.
Just
That's
seeing
amazing.
you. I'm thinking
Thank
about all the
y'all.
ideas I've had in my life, and the difference is actually like investing in yourself and implementing it, and like you said, going and getting a writer to work on this with you. Also,
Yeah.
it's one thing to have an idea; it's a whole nother thing to make it happen.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think believing. I think sometimes we believe, we have our hopes, we have our dreams, and we believe, but then we don't believe enough. And that's what I had to charge myself with over all this time. I was like, yeah, I've always believed that I knew I should have my own show. I just knew it. But until that moment of me, when that strike happened and me picking that up,
Yeah.
and all those steps I made to move forward, even when it felt like, because it wasn't all easy breezy, when it felt like it wasn't going to happen. And I was like, nope, it's happening. And I kept going. The belief in that moment of my life was way more than I had ever had. So I've always believed, but I felt like I didn't believe enough. So that's what I've been telling people. Believe more.
Yes.
Believe
Ooh, I like
more.
that.
I love that.
And Tyler always says, your dreams aren't bigger. You got bigger dreams. Your dreams aren't big enough. If they're easily accessible, they're not big enough.
I love it.
Yeah.
And I want to say the last thing I'll say about this too with She the People is that this is also going to encourage so many people to want to run for office.
Right.
Good.
Whether or not you know it,
100%.
because when you see it, you know what they always say, if you see it, you feel
Yes.
like you could
Yes.
be it.
Yes.
And to see somebody in that
Yes.
position that's like us, to
Yes.
know that like this is something that could potentially happen. When
Yes.
you see it, it could spark so much,
Yes.
you know, in young people that are watching it too.
Absolutely. All of that is purposeful.
Mm-hmm.
All of it is purposeful. That's why I love what we do. I love specifically being an actor on television where
Yeah.
you're in people's homes because they get to know you or they think, you become a part of their family.
Yeah.
And because you're in their living rooms, you're at their dinner tables with them, with their kids, you're in the room with them. So they believe you become a part of their family. And I learned that when I was on the Steve Harvey show because people would come up to me and it
Yeah.
was like they was like family. And I was like, I don't even know these people, but
They know you.
yeah, because I was a part of their family.
Yeah.
And so I've always embraced that. And that's why I've always been adamant about getting back on TV because that representation matters.
It does.
100%.
It matters.
All right. Well, She the People, Part 1, May 22nd, and Part 2, August 14th. And that's going to be on Netflix. We are definitely going to be watching.
Yay.
And thank you
Thank
so
y'all.
much. This has been an
Thank
honor
y'all for the champagne.
and a pleasure. You got to finish it.
I will.
Okay.
I will.
It's your service. Cheers.
Thank you.